Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. Well, today's video is products that I purchased, but when I was buying them, I was like, do you really want to buy these? Here's the thing, you know I love testing and trying and buying new products, and sometimes I get caught up in the reviews that I see, and actually I really try to not watch reviews, but listen, I love TikTok. I will go down the beauty hole sometimes in TikTok, and if I see something that people are hating on, I'm like, do I really want to try that? Are they using it wrong? What's going on there? And recently I pledged to myself, I wanted to start and go back to brands that I had just kind of, moved on from, but they've been launching and releasing new products. And I thought, you know what? They've been great brands. Let's give their new products a try. So first up from Anastasia, the Anastasia line just seems to ebb and flow. They'll put out something great like an eyeshadow palette, and then you get boring nothingness for a while, or it just seems like nothing at all. Well, they came out with this, let me get the name right, yikes. It's a beauty balm, a serum boosted skin tint. I got the shade number 5. Now, I thought, well, here's the thing. Summer's coming up. I always am looking for lightweight, I don't want to say foundations, although I do use foundation in the summer sometimes, but I just want some sort of lightweight kind of skin evening product. And this, I thought, well, you can tell I've been using it. It's got a couple of chunks out of it so far. This, I thought, might be just right for that. And like I said, I don't love a beauty balm. Let's, you know what? Let me start putting this on so we can chat and get this face together at the same time. All right, so like I said, I don't normally like a beauty balm type situation because you're always supposed to use your hands to, put the product into your skin, and I hate that. That is never my jam. I can't stand touching my face. Oh, and I didn't mention there's nothing on me except for my skincare. I have some of the Ole Henriksen lip balm, and I put a little bit of the Kaylee Ray so-called Super Bloom. It's a lip and cheek tint. I love this very much. I had a little bit on my lips, although I think it might be wearing off, but whatever. All right, so now I've got this balm, and I gotta tell you, when I'm rubbing it in, it feels hydrating and it feels like a skincare product, but I know that I'm putting on basically a foundation with my fingers, and that just gives me the heebie-jeebies. Now, this is a lightweight, light coverage product, and this is not your long-wearing 10 to 12 hour kind of situation. This is perfect for those of us who have normal to dry skin. If you have oily skin, this is probably not for you. If you live in a dry, arid climate, I think it would be nice for you. We get pretty humid up here in the summer, so I'm not sure if this is going to be great on the more humid days. As a matter of fact, I probably wouldn't even bother with it on our more humid days. I actually think it's just perfect for spring and fall and maybe our non-humid summer days. As you can see, I'm literally just gently rubbing it in, just trying to make sure it's blended. And then I'm just going to tap a little bit because I don't want there to be any sort of streaking anywhere. Now, when I use this, because I really don't have tremendous dark circles or issues under my eyes, I do have this blue purple-ish kind of, I don't know, coloration in the corners of my eyes, but I don't hate it. It's fine. So I don't wear concealer when I use this. Now, it doesn't cancel out most things on my face. It just evens it out. And also, I forgot to mention, they didn't have the perfect shade for me. That was one of the things that I was a little about, but I'm able to adjust it with other products, so it's not terrible. I gotta say, when I first put it on, I'm like, it's all right. It's fine. Here's the thing, as the day goes on, when I have my, the rest of the face on, which we'll put on in a second, as the day goes on, I don't know what sort of magic is in here, but it just starts to look better and better throughout the day. It's crazy. Now, here's the thing. If you have large pores anywhere, or if you get oily and maybe your T-zone, I highly recommend using something like a pore filling minimizer or the Secure the Sweat from One Size. This is really nice because I don't have tremendous concerns like that. It's fine for me. I don't really need to put down a primer. But for those of you who do get an oily T-zone, I think some sort of like mattifying primer would really help this go even farther. Now, like I said, it's not a long wearing product. I normally wear it from anywhere to 6 to 8 hours, which is fine for me. And as you can see in this stick here, let me show you how much product you get. I've probably worn this 4 times and I've barely made a dent. So this is easily going to make it through the summer and the fall for me. I'm not worried about going through it quickly. And one of the difficult things about doing this for you guys on camera is it looks different for me than it will for you, because all the lights will emphasize everything that's wrong with my skin, the hyperpigmentation, any sort of broken capillaries, you know, freckles, like anything like that, even my pores. It's like just putting a spotlight on all those things. In real daylight, it looks lovely, it's easy, it looks natural, and it's one of those things that if you're not a foundation person, but you do want something for a little bit of evening out, this is really nice. And if I do pick up a little color during the summer, then maybe I will go up the next shade if it's right, because the shade in general, or the line in general, doesn't have a lot of cool tones. This was as neutral, like I said, the shade 5, it was as neutral as I could get in my shade range. And it's okay. And now that it's on my face, it feels fine. It feels like skincare. It's lightweight. It's not bothersome. For me, it's just like the touching of my face with my fingers. And I have tried using it, applying with a slightly damp beauty blender and with a brush, and I didn't like it with either one of them. Something about the warmth of your hands just makes this product work better. All right, I've been playing with this. This here is from Too Faced. This is the Melting, Bronzing, and Sculpting Stick. I have it in the shade Chocolate Mousse. This, I haven't bought Too Faced in years. If you guys are familiar with Jared Blandino, he used to own the company. I didn't love him, and I felt like I grew out of the brand because it's pretty gimmicky. Everything is scented. It's just, I don't know. I just felt like I'd moved on, but I needed a new bronzer and I wanted a cream one. And this was one of the few that I had seen that was launched. And I was like, all right, let's give it a shot. And yes, it smells exactly like a Hershey bar, like a milk chocolate bar. But when I say the ease of using this is crazy. Now, I'm not one of those people who likes to put doing all of this marking and then blending, because usually the products will start to dry down and then you're left with patchiness. This one doesn't do that. So I'm fine with doing what I just did. But in general, I don't recommend that you do that. And you can see, look at blended, boom, done. It's so pretty. Now I like to blend it out just a little bit more, because when I'm using this here Balm, I'm going to call it a foundation. When I'm using this foundation, I really like for everything to look very natural. I don't want, this is more of my easy, I don't want to say clean girl face, because that's not what it is, but it's just, I'm not putting labels on this, but this is just the easy face that looks put together, but still looks natural. Do you see how easily that blends? And I wasn't gonna buy it, but I did, and now I love it. So you can see we're just adding this bronzer, warmed up my face enough that this foundation isn't looking as light, but we're not done yet. Now, because I'm using only cream products and I don't want to dilute them down at all, I will use a dry beauty sponge to just kind of blend the areas. I don't want my, did you see how my bronzer kind of moved down a little bit? I didn't want that. I just wanted it to be contained. There we go. That's a little better. And the dry beauty sponge is nice for that, because that way I'm not adding any more moisture to my face that could actually make this patchy. Now, I don't normally do contour with a bronzer because I think it looks crazy, but because I'm just warming up this face, I will do kind of a bronzer. There we go, just adding a little bit of warmth to my nose. Otherwise, it just looks like a great big white spot on my face. And I always like to just use whatever is left over on my brush on my chin, because I also don't like that to be super, I don't know. I like for the bronze to kind of be 360. All right, now because I have the amount of creams on my face that I do, I'm going to set with some bronzer powder. I have two favorites that are matte. This one from Makeup by Mario. This is the Soft Sculpt Bronzer in the shade Light. You can see I do love it because I've already hit pan. And then from the Dior Backstage line, this is their Face and Body Powder No Powder in the shade 3N. I love using this. You can tell I've used the crap out of this. It's gross in here. I love using this because it gives like a nice light matte velvety finish, but it really locks things in without looking cakey or dry. So I think today, I want to use this one. And as you noticed, I put the bronzer from Too Faced. I actually used it kind of like in my blush placement because this kind of look here that I'm putting together for you guys is more along the lines of what I'd like to do in the summertime. I like to use my bronzer kind of as like, well, the way the sun is going to hit my face and, you know, give me like rosy brown cheeks. So that's why the bronzer is like a little more than normal. All right, so my bronzer is lightly set. Now I'm gonna go in, and I don't normally do this, but I like doing this with the Anastasia. I will powder my entire face with a big fluffy brush. I don't normally do this like all over my face. I like to target it with using like the little puffs. But because I don't want it to be like a full on like beat face, I want it to look a little more natural, but I do want to set down that beauty balm. I don't want it like I mean, it will last as long as it's going to last, but if I use a light dusting of powder, it definitely helps it last longer. And because I didn't use concealer, I can get like a little bit of like the balm settling into the actual like lines that we all have under our eyes. So I just lightly like tap them out and then use whatever's left on here to just like set that a little bit. But that's enough to just like lock it down safely without it looking cakey or heavy. All right, next up for my eyebrows from Urban Decay, this is their Big Bush Brow. This is in the shade Taupe Trap. I've used other Urban Decay products before. They have that double-ended eyebrow pencil where one end is actually like a little felt tip. I love that so much. I don't know why I haven't repurchased that. I used to use it all the time years ago, but when I saw this, I was in it. I've talked about this in another video, but this works so perfect for this look. And here again, Urban Decay was a brand that was kind of like falling off. We all weren't paying that much attention to. And then all of a sudden they came out with brows. They actually, I'll just do a little aside. They came out with this here face bond. I picked it up in the shade 7 Fair Neutral because of one of you guys. I'll probably talk about it in another video, but it doesn't give like this light, everyday easy face, at least for me. So we're not talking about her today. All right, this is so nice because it has fibers in it, and it is kind of, I don't know if you can tell, but like this bottom row of bristles is longer than the top row. You use the, let me see if I get this right. I mix it up every time. You use the short bristles to go from the back to the front, and you're placing the product down on your skin that way. And then you flip it over to use the longer bristled side to comb it all through. Now we all know my brows are not great. I struggle with them, but this here is so nice for just adding a little extra oomph when I don't feel like really working on my brows, but I want them to have just a little more. But let's face it, these are brows, and it does take some time to get them just right. So I'm not gonna have you sit here, watch me do my brows for the next 7-8 minutes. Now, I don't know if you can tell a difference yet, but here it is on this side. I've used just this. I haven't put any pencil in yet. And I think it just adds a little bit more color, a little, like those fibers just kind of fluff up a little bit and just make me look a little nicer than this side here. Not to mention it does hold. So that's really, really nice. I do like the hold that this has. It's kind of like, it's not crunchy, it's a slightly flexible hold, but it keeps my brows looking nice. I honestly love this product way more than I thought I was going to. Now from Danessa Myricks, I've always been a big fan of these Color Fix. She has some new colors. This is the nudes. It comes in shades 1, 2, and 3. I picked up nude 1. I actually bought these to use as primers for my lids. You can use them for anything on your face at all. You could use them for like covering up any blemishes you have. They're super, super great. The other two shades, 2 I felt was too, I think, like yellowy orange for me, and 3 I felt was too dark, although I might get 3 just because 1 is very light. Maybe just get them to mix together. I only need the tiniest amount. I will literally have this until the day I die or it dries out. That's how far it goes. I'm just using a little bit just to prime my lids. I'm not doing anything fun or fancy. I don't have any new eyeshadow products. I think you've all seen the Makeup by Mario, the Nudes palette. I'll probably just pop on a little bit from there just to have a basic eye. I know it looks a little crazy because they are so white. That's why I like using the pink sometimes too, although this pink is pretty bright on my lids. I'll put a little bit on just to show you guys. Now these color fix are so nice. I literally shouldn't even be talking about them in this video because I already knew I liked them and that's not what this video is about. But since they kind of crept their way in, or I crept them in, I'll just tell you that if you live somewhere where it's humid and you are always like, oh, my makeup doesn't stay in place, this stays in place. And as you can tell, they layer beautifully. I'll just pull out a couple others so you can see that I do love them. I know I have more, but I have, this is the shade Latte, and this here Ballerina is like a glimmery, glittery shade. Should I just put that on and be done with it? No. Stop it. I can really get off track very easily. I'm literally gonna do just the most basic eye there ever was, so I'll be back in a second. And honestly, I don't even know why I bothered doing a shadowed like eye look with this, because usually I will just put on the Scattered Light glitter eyeshadows from Hourglass. Those of you who have been with me forever know the shade Reflect, and I have been together for years. This is probably my third one. I love this so much, and usually this is all I'll do. I'll just go over my bare lid with this, and it is perfection. I don't know why I went in with that Makeup by Mario, because I don't usually do like a shadow with this Balm foundation. So I don't know what the hell I was thinking. It's my fault because these color fixes were in front of me and I didn't need to use them, and then I started, and then this is what happens. Well, let's go on to the next. I talked to you guys about this once before. This is from Urban Decay. It's not new. It is as old can be, but I think it is like one of the tried and true eyeliners of all times. This is the 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil. It is waterproof and long lasting, even says so on here. And I use it in the shade Demolition because it is not brown, it is not black, it is not gray. It's just all of those shades, and that's exactly what my blue eyes like. Doesn't it look crazy when people tightline on camera? Don't you just cringe? I know I do every time I see someone do it, even though I tightline almost every day. My dog is in here right now, and his tummy is going crazy. I'm hearing all this like bubbling and gurgling sounds. I hope to heavens you guys are not hearing that too. That would be so gross. I know, she took it too far. All right, next up for my cheeks, I could not help myself. This has been like one of the most controversial blushes I have ever seen from Rare Beauty. This is their powder blushes. I have the shades Hope and Joy. I was in the store and I literally could not decide. I was swatched all over like crazy. Hope and Joy. Now, the descriptions of them is that Hope is more of like a nude mauve and Joy was more of, I think it said something about peach, and that's really what it is. Honestly, every shade is flipping gorgeous. I could easily use all of them. Now, there's no way you would use this much on your cheeks, but here's the shade Hope. So pretty. And next to it is Joy. Are they not gorgeous? Now, a lot of people are really concerned about it, as was I when it launched, because it's pretty much the same formula as their powder highlights, which I love. They are among my top 5 highlights of all time. But when I saw these, I was like, that's a lot of like shimmer for the cheeks. And I've always had texture on my cheeks. However, I've been able to kind of like eradicate that in the past couple of years, and it's not as bad as it was. So the way I've been using this, and I've been loving it, and I hope to God that like if you guys have been curious, you'll give this a try. You need the lightest, fluffiest brush, something that is super light, nothing that is densely packed. Like even this is too dense. Like, I mean, and God forbid if you use something like this, you're screwed. Just don't. So get whatever light brush you have and give it 1-2 swirls, tap it off, and use it kind of like a blush highlighter. So that's why I did as much bronzer as I did, because I'm using it like on the cheekbones where I would use highlighter, and I'm not bringing it to the apples of my cheeks where I normally like to have blush. That's why I have bronzer there, because that's where, you know, your pores are usually bigger, and if you have any sort of shimmer or shine in that area, it will emphasize. And I'm kind of like, you know what? If you like it there, who gives a crap if it emphasizes? If that's what makes your cheeks look pretty, then friggin' put it there. Don't listen to anybody. All right, here I am putting it on my cheekbones on the top. It's a little higher than I would normally go. And that, listen to me, that is it. I'm blush crazy. Most of you know that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to wipe this off on my little microfiber towel here, because I don't want any excess on here. And I just want to blend what I have on here around a little bit. And do you see how that gives the prettiest, like, it does give the pop of color, but that sheen is just spectacular. For summertime, I'm beyond obsessed. And you can see from this cheek that's not done to this one, just using the littlest bit makes such a difference. It's so beautiful. I love it so much. And like I said, I was one of the people in the beginning that was like, no, 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 that's gonna be crazy town. But I couldn't help myself. And I'm so glad that I was able to, you know, convince myself to get this, because I did not think that this was going to be what I wanted. Do you see? Oh, again, wiping off my brush so I can just blend it a little bit. And I also like to go in with either a damp or dry sponge just to like press it in. And I feel like that actually helps. Oh my God. I love these so much. So here's the deal. If you are afraid to pick up either of these, any of the blushes from Rare Beauty, do not be afraid. You will be pleasantly surprised by how beautiful they are. And honestly, I could have just done those on my lid and they would have been gorgeous. Now here's the thing, because they are what they are with their glimmer and their sheen, I don't like for my face in general to be like glowy. That's why I have the matte bronzer on. That's why I did a light powdering with my Laura Mercier translucent powder, because I didn't want a lot of like shine happening all over the place. Because let's face it, the Rare Beauty, she's the standout. Now I will sometimes take whatever's left on the brush, which is probably not a lot, and do just the tip of my nose. I don't do down the bridge of my nose where I normally do highlight. I just like getting a little bit on the tip there. I just think it's pretty. The problem with having a handheld mirror is that I end up talking to it instead of you guys. My apologies. A mascara, nothing special, just the L'Oreal Panorama. I've been using it a lot lately and I really like it. All right, now this last product that I'm going to show you, I did not plan on, oh my God, get it together. I had no intentions of picking up, but from Anastasia, this is the Lip Velvet in the shade Kiss. When I saw this in store, I was like, oh my God, I think I need that. I don't normally like a matte liquid lip. I feel like it actually ages me, but when I saw this, I was like, I think I might need it, just because it felt so lightweight and moussey and the shade was so lovely. Now, I would not wear this with this look. Like, I would not use it with the Anastasia Balm, because I just think they're two different looks. But just so I can show you how much I really am enjoying this. Let's take off the lip balm. Now, I would normally use a lip liner with this, but because I'm not trying to have the look that's actually happening. You know what I'm saying? I really wanted to show you what I've been wearing lately, which was easy breezy, but she went off the rails. So I like applying it on my top lip and then rubbing my lips together. That's one way of not getting too much product on. And then I smooth it with my finger so it gets into all those little lines, cracks, and crevices on my lips. And the thing is, it is so smooth. It is so nice feeling. That's what I really, really love about it. It's incredibly comfortable. And then normally I just top it off with a clear gloss. I actually have been using the one from Huda that I'm kind of like, it's nice, but it's not what she hyped it up to be. That one's actually in my purse, so I'm just going to use this one from YSL. This is the Rouge Volupté Candy Glaze in the shade 02. It's just a nude. You know what? That's not giving what I wanted it to. This is what happens when you try new things on camera. We're not doing that. Let's pat off that gloss. This is literally what happens in my everyday life when it comes to doing my lips at the end. It's like trial and error until I get exactly what I want. So now you guys are seeing like what is real. All right, we're gonna take it old school. We're gonna go with the Makeup Forever and Wherever Walnut, because my lips are getting pinked up from all the rubbing. So we're gonna bring it down with a neutral shade. Honestly, the chaos I'm bringing you guys today is really next level. All right, back in with the Anastasia. Patting it in. And you can see as a nude, it's really pretty, especially with the Wherever Walnut. They really go nicely together. This video has gone off the rails. This is not where I wanted this to end up for you guys, but I do want you to know that I do love this balm. It takes some getting used to, getting your skincare just right. You don't want an over juicy face. You do want like something with like a little bit of grip to hold on to this. But if you like a more natural look, I think, and you have drier or normal skin, I think you might like this. The Too Faced bronzer, I flipping love this. And I never thought I would say that about a Too Faced product again. The Urban Decay Big Bush Brow, I think it just gives like easy brow without them being like, what's the word I want? Like, I don't want, like, they're not like super manicured looking. They're like my brows, but better. And then the Rare Beauty blushes, if you are able to use a light hand, just be so delicate with it. If you are, I think you would absolutely love them. I love these so much, and I did not think I was going to love them as much as I do. And then, of course, from Anastasia, her new lip velvets in the shade Kiss. They're special. So, you know what? I don't like having matte lips on camera. I just think it looks crazy. So I am just going to top it with my Ulla Henriksen. This is the Pout Preserve Peptide Lip Treatment in Strawberry. Just give it a little bit because it looks crazy on camera. It doesn't look the same in person as it does on camera. There we go. Just zhuzhed them up a little bit. So yeah, this video did not go where I expected it to, but I at least got to use all the products for you that I didn't think I would love, but it turns out I do. But I think you can imagine that if you were to do this face yourself, minus these overly done eyelids and minus like all that's going on with my lip, if you were just to use like a tinted lip balm or like a tinted lip gloss, it's perfect for like what the skin has happening. You know, do as I say, not as I do. I am not much of a toucher upper either. I should have mentioned that to you guys. So when I've been wearing this beauty balm from Anastasia, I actually wasn't touching it up at all during the day. What I will do is just take the puff with a little bit of translucent powder on it, and I will go right here, right now, and in between my eyebrows and on my chin. That is all. That's the only place where I will do any sort of extra powdering. And then I don't like to use a hydrating like setter. I actually like to use one that is like, just leaves your makeup looking the way that you've finished it. Could I stumble my words much more? Basically, I don't like using the Charlotte Tilbury because this leaves a glow. I like to use from Lisa Eldridge this one here because it leaves my makeup exactly as it is without there being any extra glow or shine. It just leaves everything in place. So I will just do that real quick. Now you don't have to set this face if you don't want to. There have been plenty of days where I haven't. If I'm gonna be around the house, I'm not setting. That's just who I am. But 4 little sprays, that's all. And now I'm locked in pretty good. Now, like I said, it's not going to take me like 8, 10, 12 hours. Absolutely not. But I get a solid 6, maybe to 8. But it's comfortable. It's pretty. I like it. I think at this point, the hair is crazy. You guys are like, this woman is crazy. What did I tune in for? If you stayed this far in the video, thank you so much. I honestly wouldn't have blamed you if you had bailed by now. I will, of course, leave these products linked in my description box below. And I want to thank all of you guys who have been signing up. A lot of you have come because of another video series that I have on my Wegovy. And I'm so happy to have you guys here. If this is one of the first videos of mine outside of the Wegovy series and you're like, this lady is crackers, I promise you it's not usually this chaotic around here. I mean, a little bit, but not this bad. But if you're new to my channel, I want to say hi, my name's Jennifer. I'm obviously into all things hair, skin, and makeup. If you are too, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications, because YouTube just is not super kind to the beauty community anymore and really isn't pushing out our programming. So if you want to see my videos, make sure you have that bell rung so you're notified when I upload. All right, you guys, I want to thank you so much for being with me, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.